Welcome back to Grand Tactician: The Civil War. This is our CSA early start campaign. We began in February 1861 and it's now February 1862. This is episode 9 of the playthrough. If you're new here or you missed any previous episodes, then do please go back and check out the playlist. I'll put a link to the playlist in a pinned comment, and I'll also put a link in the description of the video, and I'll put a link on the screen somewhere if I remember to do so. So for those of you using the desktop, you'll be able to just click on the link. It'll be in the top right hand corner at some point. Alright, so before we get started here, let's have a quick overview of what happened in the last episode. It'll just be a brief one, so if you need in-depth info, or you want in-depth info rather, you have to go back and watch it. So what we did is we advanced into Kentucky a couple of episodes ago, but we've kind of had to stop and build some depots, plus we stopped for winter quarters. So I ran through about 3 or 4 months of game time in the previous video and showed kind of what I did behind the scenes, so to speak, during the winter break, let's call it. Because generally there's not that much campaigning happening, especially in that first winter of 61-62. We had a big fight in Missouri that we won, but I feel like we've got too many troops in Missouri. It's something I've been thinking about for the last couple of episodes, and we're really struggling with supply, kind of getting supply up into there. So what we're going to do is move some of those guys out. We're going to move them into the eastern part of Missouri, or possibly even over the Mississippi, and we're going to threaten Cairo with those guys. And that is likely to be Pillow's Arkansas District Force, which has been my recruiting force for the last since we started the game, basically. So we're going to leave Smith instead. Call him the Reserve Corps. He was our Pioneer Corps, but he's still going to do that sort of pioneering job, while Price's force is going to do the majority of the fighting. But if you have a look, we actually have 53,000 men in the Trans-Mississippi region, and at this time of the war, so early on, we just simply haven't got the resources to support that many troops in the Trans-Mississippi as the Confederate States. As you can see, I mean, we are starting to go a little more red here with supply, so things are getting better, but on the whole, we're really struggling to supply, especially Price's army. But Price is actually, I've marched him down here, and he is besieging this fort down in the Indian Territory, on the kind of Arkansas Indian Territory border. So we want to get rid of these Union troops in our rear. I mean, it doesn't really matter if the siege fails, I guess, because it's not. I don't think it really makes that much difference. I just don't like them there. So, so basically, we're going to see if we can get rid of this fort, and then Price is going to resume his position somewhere around Springfield or Lebanon. In the center, we're building a fort on the Mississippi here with our Tennessee Pioneers. And like I say, we're holding this central area with a view to pressing up at some point pretty soon. Supply, obviously, quite plentiful here in this eastern region, Virginia. But again, we're just kind of holding a defensive line. We're not looking to be offensive at the moment, but that may well change. I've done a little bit of weapon ordering off screen here, but that's about it. And other than this going on, right, so we've sent Zollicoffer to besiege Fort Pickens. Again, I don't know if that's going to be successful. It's got a 59% chance of success, so I mean, maybe it will be. Fort Towson there, that is Price in the Indian Territory, and Fort Monroe is also besieged by Cooper. And our Eastern HQ, which is, again, it was just a recruiting unit really, but I figured we might as well get some action under their belt while it was the winter time, and it gives those guys, it means all the guys in that army will lose their first battle debuff, and that'll be helpful for when we move them up to the real armies. But that's enough talking from me. Now we're going to get started with this campaign. We're still in winter quarters, it's still only February, so I don't know how much action is going to be in this episode. But before I crack on, if you like this sort of content, and like, I mean, I'm quite in-depth, I suppose, in this, but not as in-depth as some other YouTubers. I've mentioned him a few times. Brambra, if you like this sort of in-depth, well-explained content that is also entertaining, then you should go and check out his channel and watch his videos. So, just to put in perspective, I am on episode 9 here, and we're already into February 1862. Brambra is approaching episode 20, and he is still in 1861. So, it just goes to show how much he actually explains and how much you can learn from watching his videos if you're not entirely sure about this game. For example, I'm not an expert at this game, not at all. I've certainly learned stuff from watching his videos. So if you like that kind of content, do go and check him out. I'll pin his link. I'll pin a link to his channel in the comments along with a link to this playlist. And if I can work out how to do it, I'll do a link to his channel at the end, so you can just click straight on there. But either way, I'll put a playlist link in there, so there'll be somewhere to click and go and check him out if you haven't already. Because if you like this, you're bound to like his stuff as well. Anyway, that's enough about that. So let's get going. So we're waiting the outcome of these sieges basically. And like I say, Pillow will be moving eastwards to take some of the supply strain away from this region. The reserve corps is going to stay in this kind of in the border area for now, and possibly move up slightly to support price if that is required. But we'll have to play that by ear and see how that goes. Let's take a quick look at the policies. We are working on Industrialization 3. And that's only ready in 12 days. Now, I've never actually done this with the Confederacies, with the Confederate States, because you can only access Industrialization 3 if you've picked Southern Industrialization at your startup menu. So I switched this out for one of the original, I think it was Indian Allies, maybe. I switched that one out. So we've got access to Industrialization 3, which should help us industrialize, basically. And I had wanted to industrialize the South a little bit. So next, we're going to be working on maybe printing notes. I'm not sure. The credit rating's okay, actually. We're still not blockaded by the Union, although he has been recruiting ships, so we'll see how that goes. And if you remember back to the previous episode, we got our butt kicked by his navy completely. Our whole fleet was wiped out, basically. So we might go for King Cotton. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet, though. We'll decide that when that's done. For now, we're letting time tick over. Let's take a quick look at the front lines. Yeah. It hasn't really changed that much, if I'm honest. It's moved up a little in Kentucky. We control a little bit more of Missouri, but still not much really. Glorious victory at Fort Monroe. Dimmock surrenders. Alright, so that's great news. The Battle of Fort Monroe ended with the Union units retreating in panic. My commanders earned a total victory with the enemy army running for their lives. The enemy has reportedly suffered a total casualties of 205 men total, sorry. 4 killed and 198 captured. Morale is believed to be broken. Yeah. We lost 43 men, 4 killed, 39 missing, but we have taken Fort Monroe, so we control this peninsula now. And that's pretty good news. Let's put some troops in there. I'm going to put Chalmers in charge. He's a political officer. And we're going to put in some troops. Let's go with troops from Maryland. So 1,500. I like using these kind of more outlying units as garrison, those guys. Not Pierce. I want him for a better command. He's just come back from being wounded. So we're looking at sort of the leftovers here. But some of them aren't bad. This guy's okay. Welcome to your new command, Herbert. Let's also pop in there some guns. Over a medium-sized unit. Not under that guy, because he's actually pretty good, if I remember correctly. Although he's also not available to select for some reason. Unless I've just missed them. But these are guys who can probably be given brigade commands, much as it'd be promoting up from lieutenant right away to colonel, which, you know, is a bit crazy, really. A nice little pay bump, though, I bet. Let's put this guy in, he sucks. There we go. So yeah, that's going to put 1,700 men into Fort Monroe. Our Eastern Army here has now got a couple of perks, and they're going to move back up towards Richmond. Eastern Army, Eastern HQ. We're still in winter quarter, so we don't want to do too much moving. I know these guys have moved all over the place and fought a couple of little battles, but, you know. I had thought this siege down here would be quick, not taking a month. Or half a month so far. Oh. It's only a 42% chance of victory. How could that even be? Salem Depot in Virginia is ready. Cool. How could that even be? There's only 33 men in there. Let's do an auto-resolve and assault. Just see how that goes. Now, the Western Army even has the perk for sieges. I thought it would be nice and quick, this, but apparently I'm not. I was wrong. Maybe we've got it. I don't know. We'll see in a moment, I suppose. Yeah, so we took it. I mean, that's nice. McLaw surrenders. Captain Trabe. I never know how to say that guy's name. But anyway, he's become a national hero. Good for him, eh? Right, so this is our place now. I don't know if it makes any difference for anything at all, but we've got a third perk open here. And we're going to go with Flying Column. Movement speed plus 10% and maximum supplies plus 50%. Level it up by marching. So we should level it up quite well because we are out here in a country that hasn't really got much in the way of... Oh! I've just noticed that he is on the offensive here. Oh dear. They could actually push us out of Missouri here. All because I sent Price back. Because we only have... Oh, let's have a look. What's he got here? 20,000 men and 18,000. So, 38,000 men, give or take. What do we got here? 9,000. I'm just going to pause this a second. 9,000 and 11,000. So we could muster up 20,000 men. So half his force. And very, very poorly equipped at that. Smith's force a little better. Reboard muskets there. Some howitzers, reboard muskets, and Springfield muskets as well. I mean, that's okay, but there's only 9,000 of them. We'd have to pull back, I think. Yeah. Oh, cavalry carbines. Finance mass production of rapid-firing, short-range cavalry carbines of different types. All of these weapons have been in production already in the 1850s, but as their use and hence demand has remained low, the number of these weapons has remained limited. Anything else? Recruitment officers again. We've only got one in that. And agents. Trade warfare. Further increases the effectiveness of blockades and blockade running by the nation's navy. That's also a good one, but I mean, we're not blockaded yet. Let's go with cavalry carbines. We are missing cavalry weapons. Maybe we can do the other ones as well. Let's have a look. No, we can't. Right. Yes. So this is absolutely an issue that these guys are coming down here. They are pumping down. I doubt we'll even be able to get Pillow in position. And this is a large depot we're going to lose. Damn it. But there is a fort, which should slow them down. And it's actually well garrisoned fort. There's 2,500 men in there with 20 guns. Let's check that garrison out. Fort Rogers. Fort Rogers. Yep. See if we've got some better weapons to give them. We'll give them Lawrence rifles, so. I think that's about it. I don't really want to give them out to those guys. They're bound to just surrender. And 6-pounder guns, only 7 of them. Do I want to give howitzers out? Not really. It could be a mistake, of course, not doing so, but yeah. Oh, it's going to take 100 hours for him just to receive the orders to go. It's because he's in the arse end of beyond here. Without supply, without anything. So I think we're going to end up having to regroup down here on the Arkansas border. Yeah. I'm going to keep Smith here for now, but he is going to pull out if need be. I suspect it needs be. The AI's been pretty aggressive over there in Missouri, and I suppose I can't blame him because we are very threatening over there. What's going on in Virginia? Still nothing really. I'm going to upgrade this depot here because we are going to be looking at making some offensive moves with the army to the northwest. I was thinking about maybe pushing into Marietta, Ohio. Let's press play and see what's going on in Missouri. That's the main theater at the moment. Yeah, they are totally coming for us. At least we didn't have a depot here. They should be suffering with supply problems and attrition problems because it is winter and really they don't have very much in the way of supply down here. They've only got small depots, so... I never know if the AI is bound by the same rules as we are as players, but, you know. Oh, yes, so while we're at it, I was going to reorganize the army of Tennessee slightly. Oops, the Florida battle's still ongoing. The Army of Tennessee. So Johnston's only got 2 divisions. I want to give him a 3rd division, and since we've got Pierce available, I figure he's the man for the job. In fact, I might give him an extra division just for artillery, similar to Polk's division here, but I don't know yet. For now, we're going to transfer some men across. I want to leave a bit of a force with Holmes, so he's like a little backup force, but that takes Johnston now up to 25,000 men, which is a bit more like it. So I'm going to reform a fleet here at Charleston. Our main fleet got wiped out. So we are building a few new sloops and a couple of frigates to build up a new what do you call it? A new fleet. A new blue water fleet, because our one just got blown to smithereens, basically. There's nothing left of it. So it's just a battle at Fort Pickens ongoing, and a few more ships are building up. Industrialization 3 is completed. I don't particularly want to go down the Conscription Act route just yet. I mean, I don't think we need to. We are lagging behind slightly in numbers, or last time we were. I checked that we were. But it's not terrible. They've got 245,000. We've got 220,000 almost. That's fine. I don't feel like we need to ram men into the army who are conscripted. Nah, I'm not a fan of conscription generally, but I mean, obviously, if I needed to, I would take it in game. So, in terms of the next policy, free trade, extra European relations, could be one to go for. I was also looking at civilian warships, so reduces the cost of paddle steamers and some other steamers. Let's go with King Cotton, 20 days. Yeah, so he's still waiting on them orders. It's taken a long time. In hindsight, it was probably a mistake to send him all the way south there. But I really didn't think the Union would do anything. They hadn't moved barely at all lately. So I felt reasonably secure. But, you know, hindsight is a wonderful thing. They are still pressing on. Right, so this is actually really going to be an issue. Dokesville Market. Alright, so they were building that already here when we captured it. The Union. Well, they've at least got their orders and they're marching back up and they'll pick up some supply. At least at Fort Smith and then obviously come into supply at Fayetteville. But it's going to take them a while to get there. But at least they should be there to defend Arkansas if these guys keep pushing. But these two Union armies should be in absolute shit state. Oh, they've actually stopped to construct a depot there. So that's okay. So we'll hang fire with moving Smith out because probably not a good idea just now. Not Smith, Pillow. But they're still pretty bad. It's the end of Feb. 27th. 28th. The siege at Fort Pickens is still ongoing as well. Oh, hang on. We've got a blockade. Oh, so he's finally changed his stance to blockade. Excellent. So, like, I've been wondering why the Union hasn't done anything here. They hadn't done any blockading at all until now. North Carolina Squadron. I don't really want them there. I'm going to send them back down. We'll send them to Wilmington. And the James River Squadron. I'm going to send them back to Norfolk. So maybe we're going to be hit with blockades now. Fairly efficient as well. 36% blockaded. Projects. Subsidize industry. Subsidize the nation's heavy industry, increasing profits for the private companies and making their business more lucrative. This will boost production and encourage further expansion. Each level of the project will further increase industrial productivity. That could be a good one, so let's go ahead and put that in there. Each level of this project will further reduce enemy support in conquered states. I mean, I don't know. Let's do it, but we're not really conquering that much, are we? Military, nothing. Any weapons being delivered? Let's check it out. No. Oh, but we can order carbines, of course. Not sharps, unfortunately. Frank Wesson carbine, 200 yard range, 9 rounds per minute. That's pretty good. Burnside carbine. I like the Merrill carbine. Can we get those? No, we can't. Hall rifle. We can't get those. Hall carbine. Can't get those either. We can't order parrots. We've got 64 14-pounder Jameses on order. They're going to be another 26 days. Can't order Springfield rifles. We've got Lawrence rifles on order. We've got 7,000 available. That's not many, though. 10,000 Mississippis on their way. 3,000 planes rifles, but they're going to be 55 days. I didn't bother ordering any more reboard muskets. I think we can move away from that for now. We've got plenty of 6-pounder field guns, 250 of them. Napoleons on order, they're going to be 26 days as well. Some more Napoleons, so that's 128, so it's a larger order, they're going to be 89 days. We've got some Augustin rifles coming, but only 5,000. But again, they all add up. Yeah, let's have a look then. I think these are mostly very similar. Accuracy mediocre. Mediocre, I mean, they're pretty much the same. I'm going to order 5,000 Burnside carbines, and just for the short term, let's order 3,000. Oh, actually, the time difference is barely any difference. We'll order 5,000 of them, so we're going to have 10,000 carbines coming. Right or wrong? New railroad line opens. This is our railroad line from Little Rock to Dallas. Cool. Right, oh, yes, it does. Maybe had to load in. That's nice. That is actually pretty damn good. That gives us scope for moving troops up and down into Texas if need be. It's going to help with infrastructure. You know, it's definitely going to be helpful. Right. The Western Army's almost there. Cool. And they've picked up some supply, but not lots. Saying they're short on ammunition. Artillery ammunition. Have we got any of that available up here? Yes, we have. So at least there's some here. Let's take a quick look if that made any difference actually capturing that place down there for supply. Not really. But it is getting darker over here. So we did build a market at Little Rock. And I wonder if that's maybe helping with transport capacity to move things across. To move supplies across. Can we build any other ones? Houston and Shreveport line. I don't think there's that much call for that one. Cumberland Gap. We don't control one of the stops. I think that might be it. So we could build this one. How much would it cost? It would take 241 days. Does it say how much it costs? 6.2 million. Additional subsidies, 6.2 million. Well, let's do it. So we're building another railroad. So at the very least, we've managed to pull price back up here. Panicked. Morale panicked. French invasion. More troops on their way. Let's say. Mexico news. A lot of our contracts in this Western theatre are up soon as well. So that's something worth bearing in mind. But we do have almost a 50% re-enlistment rate. So that's not as bad as it seems, but I mean, obviously it's not good. 32,000 contracts are due up and 48% re-enlistment is estimated. I think a fair chunk of them are in Price's army. Lincoln emancipates the slaves, so that's even less chance of British intervention now, I would say. As in almost none. At unstable, 26% morale. I guess probably because we've been marching all over the place during winter. He's in camp now. King Cotton. Another policy. Project even. Send envoys. And trade deals. Our trade deal is already at 5. And we're going to do another one and stick it up to 6. So, trade deal 6. More lucrative trade deals plus 30%. That's looking pretty healthy. Yeah, we've used all 10 policies. So kind of limits what we can do next. Credit rating's okay still. I'm going to go with civilian warships. I'm going to reorganize this New Orleans squadron. I don't like the look of it like this. I'm going to send some of these steamers out of it. I'm going to leave the bigger steamers in because they're fairly powerful ships. It's mostly these gunboats I want to stick in there once they're done. We've got a few of these little tiny steamer gunboats available as well, but I'm going to leave them for now. Morale nervous. That should be getting better. Army officers not to return slaves. All right. Interventions down to 23% because of the Emancipation Proclamation, basically. and the legal blockade. So we're on our own, it seems. Sending Bragg down to Knoxville. We're going to build a fort there, and we're going to build possibly a telegraph. Depending on what it looks like when we get there. Something's ready. Let's check it out. Fort Krause. Where's that? I'd like it if you could just double click on it and it would take you there. But it doesn't. Let's find it. Alright, so this is on the Mississippi. Right, cool. I'm going to stick some troops in there real quick. Sterling A.M. Wood, you are the commander of Fort Krause now. We've got 70,000 troops available, so it's time to do a bit of recruiting after I've done this part, I think. The problem I have is finding commanders for the armies. We are really, really short on officers, and I'm going to have to go through and work some of these guys out, basically, and I'm going to have to change a few bits and pieces. So I'm happy with the army in the center. I'm fairly happy with the army in the west. However, like we're saying, the supplies is an issue. But what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to raise a whole new army. I'm going to raise the army of the Mississippi. I'm not entirely sure who I'm going to place in charge. I'm leaning towards giving it to Pillow. I know Pillow is not historically very good. But actually in game, he is not that bad. So maybe I'm going to do that here. Or maybe I'll give it to George Johnston. That might be a better call. But then who do I give Johnston's corps to? I'm not sure. Let's take a look. Who have we got anybody available who could be a candidate for that? I'm going to have to look and I'll do this off screen and I'll come back and I'll tell you what I've done afterwards. I'm sure nobody wants to see me scrolling through the armies and finding commanders. Alright then, so I've done a lot of off-camera reorganizing, reshuffling. We have got an army of Mississippi under Longstreet. Van Dorn's commanding one corps and Donaldson the other. Van Dorn's corps got 13,000 men, 26 guns. I'm going to recruit some more guns into this eventually, but I don't want to overdo it with the recruiting just now, so we're going to keep it with that. 3 divisions. Barnett B with a little cavalry division. Rains, who's got the bump up to Brigadier General with an infantry division, and Mosby with another division. Then we've got Donaldson's corps, which has Pemberton, who I don't really like, but we needed another officer of some rank who I didn't have to over promote. So we've got Pemberton with the division and Withers with the division. Withers has done a good job in the east. Same with Rains, he has done a good job. Van Dorn, not really seen much action, but I mean, he's okay. And Donaldson, well, he's alright. But Longstreet, he's looking pretty solid, Longstreet, so hopefully he'll do a good job. And we'll leave it at that. So that's another army formed. It's a small army, 23,000 men. I'm not sure where they've even formed. Down here, Van Dorn's corps and Donaldson must all be in the same place. That's okay, Jackson, Mississippi, that's kind of where I wanted them, because we're going to be pressing up this sort of area. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to upgrade this supply depot, because this is going to be our sort of main region for getting started. Great. So I'm fairly happy with that. Let's kick time on. Alright, so Price is sorted out again. He's stable. Should be getting rid of some of these casualties as well, since we're next to the hospital, and he's got the ambulance corps perk as well. So their blockade's fairly effective here. More effective than I would have thought. Especially since we control both the forts here. I'm going to pop a few of these double enders in here. A couple anyway. And another one's going to go into the New Orleans squadron. They're fairly powerful ships, those. It's obviously going to take these a while to assemble this army here. So we're arming civilian ships now. Cool. New policy. Cotton is king. So it's going to improve European relations. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I think in order to make any new policies, because we use 10 out of 10, we need to take one off. I could be wrong on that, but we can still do these things. However, I don't particularly want to do any of them. Free trade, maybe? Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to shift Blanchard's Tennessee Pioneers just up slightly. I just want to have a look what's there, basically. See if we can see anything near Cairo, Illinois. We're still in winter movement, even though it's 28th of March. So we've taken Fort Pickens as well. Excellent. Glorious victory at Fort Pickens. Vosges? Surrenders. So we've taken Fort Pickens. Cool. So Zolikoff's guys here. Unstoppable. I think it's because we've got 3 victories in a row. Zolikoff's guys down here will now have lost this perk as well. The debuff for first combat. Did it give Zolikov anything? Oh, he's pretty damn famous now. That's about all he's got going for him. Maybe I'll transfer some of these men out of Zolikov's unit, since I don't think we need 7,000 men down here on the coast. But then, I don't know. I suppose they could go and strengthen up the Army of Mississippi. Army of Tennessee is at 68,700. So a little bit of the changing around I've done here. So Forrest now got a division, which he didn't have before. Other than that, there's only a couple of small changes, really. Most of the changes I made in the east. $17 days left on these contracts. I think some of them have already renewed. No, 25 days. I think Jones might have renewed. I'm not sure, though. At least we've now got 88,000 mixed muskets. We've got a few thousand Augustine muskets again. Do I want to order some more? Not particularly. They're not very good. Lawrence rifles. We've got 7,000. They cost a lot of money. We've got 12 days to go and we're going to receive 10,000 Mississippi rifles. So they will then help outfit part of the Army of Mississippi at least. And we'll give a few Lawrence rifles out to those guys as well. And I want those men in action fairly soon. Either we've lost sight of the Union armies here or they've pulled back north. Either way, they've built a depot. So possibly I'm going to upgrade this to the top level. It's a little risky, but we do need the supplies up here. We're in April, so this is now campaigning season again. Okay, cool. Let's take a quick look at the intelligence briefing. 14,000 men recruited into 11 brigades. Following fleets have been raised: Long Island Sound Squadron, Nantucket Sound Squadron, Long Island Sound Squadron 2. 21 new ships have been started. Right. Okay. They're consolidating and regrouping. It's kind of what we did through the winter as well. I mean, we didn't do very much. However, it's spring now. It's no longer winter. Let's check out Hardy's Corps. Sadly, we've not got any carbines to hand out just yet. But I'm going to move Johnston up to here. I'm going to hold Blanchard across towards Bowling Green. And we are going on the offensive. We're going to press the Army of Mississippi. And we should well have the numbers on them. I mean, you might have someone else around here, but surely we would have seen them because our fleets are up here, our scouting squadrons. I'm going to actually send out some of these little boats to them. And I think we'll end the episode when we clash with the Army of Mississippi. We'll fight the battle in the next episode. So when Blanchard gets here, I might actually build a fort at Bowling Green. I had considered it before. Army of the Mississippi is almost ready. We've received our artillery. So actually, I'm going to put them into this army because that's just about to fight. Which I know is a bit bollocks. Like they wouldn't just immediately have access to those weapons once you've clicked it. But I mean, that's how the game works, and we might as well take a little bit of advantage where we can. Penn has already got. Oh, they've only got 60 days on their contract as well. Oh, quite a few of these. So maybe if we can get a battle in just before this expires, that might actually be good. 14 pounder Jameses for Colquitt. 6 pound field gun. We've got Napoleons ready as well. We've got 65 of them. Cool, let's get them in here. It's nice to have some decent weapons. So this is now a decent artillery division. 12 pound Napoleons, 12 pound howitzers, 14 pounder James, and 24 pound howitzers. That's not bad at all. Let's take a quick look at Johnston. 12 pound howitzers there, okay. 6 pound field gun for those guys. I'm going to upgrade that. 11 of them. We'll give them. Let's give them rifles. James rifles, cool. So they're quite well armed now. Mixed muskets, 16 days. I think that's why I didn't upgrade those. 1 month, 14 months. So they've already got Augustin. 32 months for these guys. I'm going to give them some better weapons. Although we haven't got that many to give out, but let's give them out some Augustin rifles. They can just keep their mixed muskets. We've got a fair mix here of rifles and some muskets, but that's okay. Springfield muskets, rifles, mixed. So there's definitely a mix. I mean, they're reasonably well armed. I thought we would have engaged them, though. Let's press on. Come on, Hardy. Take them on. Johnston, let's take them on. Yeah. Ooh, it's Mansfield. It should be a fairly interesting battle. I mean, we totally have the numbers on. We've got 60,000 men to take into the field. 85 guns. He's sitting with, what, less than 30,000. And 33 guns. So, I mean, we should be able to annihilate him here. It's not always the case, though. Sometimes things are tricky in this game. But we should be able to do him. I mean, even just that first corps, 36,100 men with 53 guns, has got more than he's got. But we'll be attacking, no doubt. It's a difficult job to attack any position, but we'll play it out in the next episode. We'll see what happens here. So this is the Army of Tennessee, versus the Army of the Mississippi, and we're fighting Mansfield. I feel like I fought him before. Well, we'll find out how he does against Albert Sidney Johnston and his 2 corps. We should wipe the floor with these guys, but like I say, it doesn't always happen. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. It was a little bit of a slow one. It was finishing off the winter quarters, but that's the way it goes in this game. If you did enjoy it, do please leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you thought of it, and either way, come and subscribe to the channel and check out the other content we've got. If you like this sort of thing, you're bound to like the other stuff on the channel, and I hope you're having a great day, whatever you're doing, and I will catch you later and hopefully see you in the next one. Ta-ra for now.